We are ascending up 20,000 leagues into the clouds to learn more about a game that I learned about it a while back. You've been working on it for quite some time. Can you give us sort of the overview, the pitch? What kind of game is this?
Yeah, so 20,000 Leagues Above the Clouds is a steampunk adventure in a world among flying islands. You're the captain of an airship with your crew, and you fly between the different flying islands, landing in skyports, talking to all kinds of weird characters who give you missions, and there's also a bit of trading and upgrading of your ship, etc. But it's quite a story-driven game, so eventually in this world there is a huge mechanical claw that starts grabbing the islands and pulling them down beneath the clouds, and you have to follow that mystery.
Cool. I mean, as soon as I hear sort of floating islands, airships, that sort of thing, I'm thinking of Skies of Arcadia, one of my favorite old games on Dreamcast. Can you tell us a little bit about what because it's not the same kind of game, we should say that. This is not a JRPG. This is a very different kind of game. But what kind of inspirations have you taken, and sort of what fiction have you looked at?
Yeah, it's funny. A lot of people mention Skies of Arcadia. Neither of us in the team have actually ever played it. We know it's a JRPG. This is more of an action RPG in some ways, but also more slow-paced and story-driven. We've looked a bit at, for example, Sid Meier's Pirates, so sort of a steampunk Pirates. Also at role-playing games like Baldur's Gate and Mass Effect for like what we want to do with our characters. In terms of the visuals, we tend to look a lot at like some of the Japanese style with like Miyazaki's films, for example, Spirited Away. So kind of colorful, pastel-like worlds is sort of what we're aiming for, a very cozy feeling.
It is an interesting thing, because you're talking about it being story-driven, and it is, but also the sort of just the fact that you're going around in an airship and you can sort of go around, explore freely, sort of lends itself to another sort of gameplay as well. So how do you cater to sort of to both play styles, if you will?
Yeah, so the world is a bit of an open world where you can travel around and you can just avoid the story altogether if you want for a long time, just going between the islands and trading. There's a lot of things to unlock in terms of new ships, in terms of new gear for your ship. You can find characters with side missions, etc. So we try to put in quite a bit of that to get more replayability and in-depth gameplay. But you can also choose to follow the story, which might have a little bit of branching, but also like some really epic moments. And
you gave us the sort of the very sort of the big picture. Looking at it, what kind of world is this? And I was playing as this cat captain for a little bit. What kind of world, and then the characters in it? What's the fiction?
So we've tried to create a world where sort of anything goes, really. But there is obviously some kind of backstory here. The world where you start is called Pine Fjord. It's a very cozy place, very secure, but it's also controlled by this really bureaucratic and hard and rough navy. So it's sort of a military society. And eventually you find out that there are more worlds than this on the other side of the clouds, actually, where things are very different. So we try to do a lot of world building like that.
If we talk about the development, we mentioned you've been working on this for quite some time. What's been going on, and sort of where are you at right now, and sort of where will you take it in the future?
So the game has been in development for I think close to 4 years now, actually, but we've been working on it on and off. We're financing it all out of our own pockets, so we've been freelancing for other game developers to pay for it. So actually a huge chunk of the time in between has gone to developing Angry Birds 2, which some of our team members were part of. but now we're sort of dedicated to working on this full time for a while, which feels really good.
And you're aiming for Steam. Is it possible with consoles as well?
Yeah, we're developing it with gamepad in mind specifically, so we're hoping to see it on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. We're trying to talk to Microsoft and Sony and see where it ends up in the end. But Steam is also, of course, a very good platform for us.
Do you envision that you're going to work on other games in between now and release, or can you buckle down and sort of get the game out there, or what's?
We really hope to be able to dedicate our time to the game, but it depends. I mean, you run out of money, you have to work for others. It happens. Yeah, but it will be out eventually.
That sounds promising. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you.